Hello, today I'm talking about the Olympus OM2N. This came after the very successful OM1, which was introduced I think in about 1971-72. The OM2 was introduced in 1975. The OM1 was a single lens reflex manual camera. This OM2 can be used as a manual camera, but it can also be used as a semi-automatic camera in auto mode. That means you set the aperture and the camera automatically sets the shutter speed. I remember these as a teenager, and there were many discussions about whether Nikon were better than Canon, or Nikon and Canon were the main big leaders in the market, with Pentax and Olympus having good reputations, but serious photographers sometimes thought that the Olympus was a little bit light, where other people loved the fact it was a bit light and a bit smaller. One of the selling features was that you could, as I'm demonstrating here, you could easily, as you were shooting, change not only the aperture on the ring here, but you could also change the shutter speed. So the shutter speed and aperture were both by the lens. So you could have your finger up there and change them very, very easily. It was also a change easily from manual to automatic. And what you get in the viewfinder under manual, you just get a plus and minus, and under the semi-automatic you then get the shutter speeds. I've just had a film through here, and I've been experimenting with this 24mm Vivitar lens. People are sometimes confused how to wind these back. They're dead easy to load. You load them like any other SLR. But to wind back, there's this R on the front, and you simply turn that to R, and then you can rewind your film like that. Now, people also get confused between sometimes you get OM2 and OM2N, like the same on the OM1. You go OM1 and OM1N. The N is a later camera. I think these OM2Ns came in 1979. They've got a slightly different metering on, and they've got a slightly more efficient wind back on the camera. Apart from that, they are extremely similar. I think this takes two batteries in there. The earlier ones take one slightly different battery. The batteries are still, especially on the later ones, where I think there's 13 AG batteries, very easy to find. You sometimes need to replace the seal there. For some reason, the market at the moment is slightly giving a premier price on the OM1s, which are purely manual metering. I actually still really like the OM2. It's a very usable camera. There's hundreds of lenses out there. The MD you get on the name as well. Sometimes it stands for motor drive. Motor drives were just coming in. This OM2, lovely camera, very usable. See if you can get hold of one and have a go. Last thing, these cameras were made incredibly famous by their advertising campaign in the 1970s. Olympus was just slightly lacking behind in the market, as I said, and we got hold of the photographer David Bailey, who was a big name in the 1970s. He was well known for his royal photography and his sports photography and portraits. He well, basically a fashion photographer, very famous fashion photographer. And the Cats line they got him to advertise all the cameras from the Olympus trip up to the OM2. And what they would do is get him in a crowd or something taking photographs, and someone in the crowd would say, "Hey you, who do you think you are? David Bailey," and he would obviously take the camera off his face, and it was David Bailey. But it became a thing that if you had a camera, people would always say to you, "Who do you think you are? David Bailey." Well, that's it for today. Enjoy your camera if you can get hold of one. Bye for now.